Okay, so next up, the fourth keynote address speaker. Now it's time to delve into another fascinating topic again, which is LiDAR and drones. The dynamic duo saving the day in unexpected ways. And for that, I would like to call Shri Sahil Das, CEO of Dates Metro LNP, on the stage. Do we have Mr. Sahil here? Yeah. Let's have a huge round of applause for him, everyone.
We believe in 3D. That's what I believe in. And in a short nut, 3D is my religion, right? And I'm not that fond of 2D dimensional. I see everything in 3D because that's how we see it. And what does a LiDAR do basically? Same thing. What you see, it replicates that with exact measurements. Okay, great. Sorry about that. I didn't know how to handle this toy. Okay, little bit of a history about LiDAR. When did it come into being? 1960s. 1960. We're in 2024. How many LiDAR companies are there which are Indian? None. We are trying, we take efforts, we try to build one, but support is pretty good for us as a environment out here. Anyways, where did we start from? We used to point these LiDARs up into the sky and see particles, air particles. And one day a great scientist came in and said, oh, why can't we use this to land a spacecraft? And that's where NASA got hold of the technology and it started growing up. In 2000s, we got access to this technology for normal users. We could now use LiDAR for different applications and great applications. From 2000 till now, the pricing of a LiDAR used to be, let's say, starting used to be 100,000, 150,000 US dollars. And now you get for $500. That's where the pricing has come down to. So it can now be used effectively for multiple use cases and cheaply. Let me go to the next slide. Oops. Yeah. Okay. It's cost effective, high resolution scanning. Now obviously, first we used to have a 16-bit LiDAR, 16 lines. Now we've come up to 128, and the latest one is 648 lines. It can be used for facial recognition, right? So now you can facially recognize someone from 400 meters far off. Great. Do we have that technology? We don't have that technology in India right now. Limited, being used by the American government. But obviously, it will trickle down to us one day or the other. Okay. Huge use cases, autonomous vehicles. You can take them, put it into a car. Can I just move around? It's like, okay. You can use it in different cars for basically mapping the cars, how they go around in a particular place, navigate into underground mines, which we've already done. You can tell it go into a, thank you. You can go into a particular space and say, go map this for me. Okay, and when it goes maps it, it has great amount of use cases. It has cases in defense. You could use it for, let's say, when there's an unknown urban area, right? You send a rover, the rover will automatically go scan it. Within 10 seconds, you have dimensions of the place. You can just put one point here, the other point there, you get the dimensions. Okay. So what were the different kinds of LiDARs earlier? There were fixed LiDARs which used to just fix at one place. Then came the evolution of mobile lidars. I don't want to be keeping it at one place. I want it to move. I want it to move and capture as I go. Then came aerial lidars that put the same technology on air and we get some particular points for places. Then came terrestrial lidars. There's a difference between a terrestrial lidar and a fixed lidar, which I'll get to in some time. And then handheld and wearable lidars. Okay, think about having 1 kg in your hand and just walking. Walk as much as you want, capture as much as you want. No need to stop, right? You can put it into your backpack, walk again with it. You could put it into your car, you could put it onto a locomotive, you could put it on a train, you could do the Delhi metro, huge amount of use cases again for this. Okay, so now I'm just going to delve into use cases very, very quickly, one by one. So this is a thing what we've done for a couple of mines, where they wanted lifetime stockpile evaluations of theirs. We said, great, we'll do this for you. We put up a lidar, they take out even a cubic meter of material out of this, they get to know how much material has been taken out of it. Okay, now fence security. Now cameras, IR, a lot of things are there, but what does lidar get to you as a benefit? Pitch dark, get it to go. Battery operated, just fix it anywhere, right? So there's no issue with that. You can do gate monitoring, get out of buildings. We've done asset protections. You can put it right next to your aircrafts, expensive aircrafts, anyone getting close to it, they get caught. Fog, smog, rain, everything can be taken care from this. Okay, it works all the time. Yes, there are issues with fog a little bit, smog, because you get a lot of dust particles which it captures too. Okay, traffic monitoring, railway surveillance, you could do this with just a fixed camera. Just point it at one place. It could even do a crowd analytics. It will tell you how many people entered this place or left out. Okay, then comes SLAM-based lidars. So these are lidars which you can move around with, capture different places, buildings, architecture, constructions, indoor, outdoor, GPS denied, with GPS, both. Okay, so these are the list. Autonomous vehicles. As a company, we provide an API. If you have a vehicle, we could give it to you. You could merge it with you. It'll get your SLAM position where you are. The cars can navigate with it automatically after that. Simultaneously, localization and mapping. Okay. So robotics and industrial automation, that's also important. If you wanted to pick something up, you wanted to see a particular area where you wanted to pinpoint your marker to go on to, it could do that for you too. Drones and aerial mapping, the show is for that. And I will tell you a story out here. About 2 weeks back, there was a case in Jaipur, and where 2 young gentlemen went missing in a jungle. And we were called for this. We said, okay, they had flown drones. They flew drones with photogrammetry, the camera. They couldn't see through the trees. They could see nothing through the trees. So we hooked up one of our lidars and we sent it there, and we could find the full surface of the ground. Sadly, we found someone, which is sad, the person did not survive. But we couldn't find the other gentleman. But this is one of the use cases also for the product when you're putting an aerial drone lidar. But is this all what you could do with a drone and a lidar? We must understand one thing, that as a drone goes higher to the ground, the points to the ground always reduce, right? So once the points are reduced, the minimum amount of object size which you could detect with certainty also reduces. So you have to find that right height while flying a drone with lidar to detect an object. Now I've seen a lot of railway contracts which have come in where they're flying drones over the railway to find the assets on the railway tracks, and they're all flying at 80 meters, 100 meters. You cannot find a 1 centimeter resolution or 3 centimeter resolution item on it. So you have to be very careful. You have to come down. You have to be at 30 meters, 40 meters. There are also a lot of high wire tensions and makes it very difficult at that height to capture data. So architects and engineers use this. We're going to scan this whole Yashubhumi and put it up on our stall today or tomorrow. When we'll just put it up a link, you could see it on our website also if you wanted to. Underground mines, we're the first company in India in 2018 to fly an underground autonomous drone. So we've already done that. We did that with Hindustan Zinc Limited, and we did it pretty well. The drone took its own path and did it. We don't manufacture drones, right? So we just build the software behind it. So forestry and agriculture is another example which I've just said. Virtual reality and media. Now this is great. So I was approached by Karan Johar's team and I was like, wow, मेरे को movie में role मिल गया. But I didn't get that. They said, come map a place for us. We want to shoot. हमको देखना है हमने अपने कैमरे किधर लगाने के हैं. And I said, wow, this is actually a use case which I didn't know about. And then I added that you could use it for that too. Right? That amazing space planning, everything. There's a company by the name of Squared Spaces and Squared Edges. These guys are using our products to map interior spaces. First, they used to send someone with inch tape ki yahan se yahan napo, yahan se yahan napo. It used to take a whole day. We did about 15,000 square feet of area in less than about 6.5, 7 minutes. So that's a testament now to how fast you could acquire a lot of data and a lot quickly. Sorry? Squared Edges. Squared Edges.
Squared Edges, thank you.
It's a startup. It's a startup. Now, drone and lidars are awesome to put together, but just not take drone as just being drones. Drones are two types. They're aerial, they're ground, and they're water also. If you go buy an equipment today, right? For example, I go buy a knife, okay? And I say, I want to cut only apples with this. Is that fair? It's wrong. If you're buying a device, it should be able to do multiple things together. It should be able to do a ground mapping, it should be able to do an air mapping, it should be able to do a train mapping, it should also be able to do a water mapping. You put it onto a boat, you should be able to use it too. So that philosophy needs to come in drone and lidar technology. Most people, I was hearing Trimble about how they're doing their integration with their systems with drone and lidars. It's awesome because we use a lot of Trimble parts too, right? But we need to become much wider with the same device, right? So if we use the right payload carrier, that is an aerial one or a ground one, it can be really, really effective. Okay, so I'm just going to run through this. You can see this at our stall. These are our different products. The real-time one is the AI-based system where you can do a lot of detections, people, etc. That's the backpack one. That's a premier one. This can also become a mobile device or also can go on to become a single lidar system with colored as well as go on to the drone. So all these devices are basically one device, except this one. Right? That is probably the world's cheapest lidar available right now. A SLAM-based lidar.
Is it yours?
That's us.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir. And made in India.
Great, great.
Okay. So how are we helping some drone companies around? We are helping them to work in GPS denied areas. काफी है sir. हिंदुस्तानी ये use करते हैं. Right. Okay. So we're trying to use this. This is a GPS denied system. The drone went in. Obviously, we have a very scared to fly it. तो हमने उसको बड़े अच्छे पिंजरे में डाल के भेज दिया. Right. So we don't make the drones, but we help drone companies to create GPS denied flying patterns. So they can fly autonomously. We've already done this with robotics in terms of warehousing. where robots can go into particular area. Again, we don't build the rover. We help rover companies with the logic to be able to do that. And thank you. It's your world, your way in 3D. Thank you.